Apparently there's some parking lot cleaning going on tomorrow, and it would be best for me to have my truck out of the way. So that sounds like a pretty decent time to go fishing. I've purchased a few items since I last went carp fishing. I might have gone a lot overkill on the reels that I bought. It's a bit big. I was reading the specs on it. I bought it on Amazon, so I don't really know. I'm just getting it spooled up right now. This is a little spooler device. So I think this is in feet, but I might be, no, it's millimeters to meters. That's probably where I went wrong. I thought it was in feet. So it gives the estimation of a 0.45 millimeter line. You can get 300 meters on here. So I thought it was feet. I saw the size of it, finally, when I pulled it out of the package, and I thought, well, damn. I had planned on putting 30-pound braid on here, this Go Tour stuff, and I thought, you know what, I've got about 1,500 meters on this spool, I think. 500, oh no, it's only 500 meter. 1,500 feet on here. And I thought, I don't want to waste all of that good braided line on here. I was just going to spool it up because, I mean, this stuff isn't as expensive as I used to be paying for braided line. But I thought, you know what, I'm just going to throw something cheaper on there. So I threw on a bunch of this Trilene Big Game. Seemed appropriate. And these reels are sold like to the max, and now it's down that far. And I think I've still got a fair amount of room that I can put some of that braided line on before this thing gets overpacked. This is really big reel. It's totally overkill. And I've got a second one coming in. So the reason I got this reel because the other one was taking too long to come in and I was impatient. I mean, look at the size of this knob on here. Like, you can get a good grip on that. The reason I got this guy for carp fishing is it has this dual drag system. So you've got a drag down here and a drag up top. This is your main drag. This is the powerful one. I think it goes up to 22 pounds. And then this is a smaller drag where basically you have one drag system for when you're actually fighting the fish, and you have another drag system for when you're waiting for the fish to bite. So when the fish bites, it pulls a really weak drag, and you get that alarm. It's not a very loud alarm, but I mean, there's no way I would hear that if I were snoozing. But I do have some electronic alarms that are very obnoxious. So now that I have this this big game line on here, which it seems like this reel was kind of made for, I'm going to throw on the Go Tour stuff. I'll link to all of these products in the description. I just wanted to point out that this thing has this really cool double drag system that switches with that trigger on the bottom. I was watching Carp and Cat's YouTube channel, and I was so jealous of this system. And this also allows me to take a couple of my my grandfather's old reels and maybe put them on display because they're not entirely functional for this kind of fishing anyway. These were fairly inexpensive. I think I paid less than $50 for each of the reels. The other one I don't have yet. And yeah, I'll link to that braid as well because it's a lot of braid for not a lot of money, and it's good for saltwater or freshwater. I think this is more of a saltwater reel too. So yeah, tomorrow I'm going to test out some carp gear. I'm going to finish packing this up with line. Stay. So I'm back at my normal unproductive spot. It seemed like a good day to get packed up and go fishing and test out some Amazon products. For any other YouTubers out there who are having trouble with audio, this is an Amazon product. It doesn't work terribly. It works pretty well. You'll see that in this video. It's the microphone I'm using right now. I'm going to walk all the way over there to my cart, and you're going to hear me just fine. Well, first of all, I spilled my coffee on everything, so that's going to be a problem. First things first with fishing is always get the line in the water. So, we got these things from Amazon. These little sticks. Now, if you can see what I'm doing here, between these two bridge pillars, the first two closest to me, I've got a pretty strong cross current here, and I need to overcome that, so I want my fishing pole to be as tall in the air as possible. So I'm going to use one of these. I'm not going to stick it in too far. He's just holding the fishing pole in position. Second, I need to set up my rig. Got my little action camera on here so I can show you some close-ups of this stuff I'm working with. This net I'm pretty sure I bought on Amazon. That's going to be good for carp skis because she opens up real goodly, snaps into place. Oh no, I bought this from Bass Pro, and she's quite long, so I'll be able to reach into the water. Could even use it as a wading stick if I wanted. I'm just gonna put that there. But the rod is important. Alright, this rod and this reel. Boom, both purchased from Amazon. I was thinking I was going to use this as an ultralight, but I wasn't paying much attention. As it turns out, it was actually intended for something like carp fishing, and then this reel is just humongous. I don't know if the brand is Beast or Lizard. I'll have to figure that out. But it's the 9000 series. This is more of like a saltwater, like reef running bait kind of thing. Like, I don't think this is ridiculously overpowered for anything that I'm going to pull out of the Grand River. This, on the other hand, this Go Tour fishing rod that I didn't realize had rhinestones and fancy things on it, is advertised as a carp fishing rod. I think it was 3 meters long. It's got fancy eyelets, all cool colored and shiny and stuff, and this little cap to keep it all together. So that's what I'm going to set up anyway. And then I'm going to have to set up one of these carp rigs, unless I already have one with me. And yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. There's all these holes here now. I don't know where they came from. I don't think it was kids. Alright, first let's just get this thing lined up. I don't know where I've never used one of these telescoping rods, so I guess you don't really know where the eyelets go until you get the... Ow. Got a cramp in my finger. You don't really know where the eyelets go until you get the reel in place. There. There's the spot for the reel. Just gotta wind that down. Something I noticed about this that I don't like all that much, other than the fancy rhinestones that just make me feel a little more flamboyant than I am naturally, is it has a more rhinestones, but this cap on the end, like you can pull this right off, and it's just kind of like hollow in there. Maybe that's for like repair of some sort, but I don't like how it doesn't have a gasket or any sort of a lock washer. It just kind of sits on there weakly. The threads are kind of awful. Can't even get it back on now. So first impressions on this rod, it seems like it's probably strong enough to pull things out of here. If anything, any sort of this gear gets truly tested, it will be the rod, as to whether it has the strength to get any of this done and consistently and stay together, because it's kind of flimsy to begin with. Anyway, the threading is just poor. It is just not going back on. It does have a bit of a gasket in there though. Maybe it's this retaining ring. That's messed up. I don't know, it seems like I've already stripped the threads, and this is the second time I've pulled it off. There we go, now it's on. And weekly. At this point, I just feel like I'm over-recording, so I am going to shut the cameras off, get my oh yeah, it's the Go Tour Aquila 10-foot 3-meter medium power. So there you go, that's what that is. I'm going to turn the cameras off and get set up because it's taking me too long to think and talk and rig and whatnot. Fishing for carp. Carp on the Grand River. We'll make our best attempt at this anyway. Oh, I got one last thing. I was told that chicken feed works good as a good base for a carp lure. So I got this chicken feed stuff at TSC. It was formerly TSC, it's now PV Mart. But it's just granular stuff. And now we need to test if it sinks. Some carpandcats.com guy says if it doesn't sink, you're screwed. It was 20 bucks for a 25 kilogram bag, so I've got a ton of it, and it sinks. Amazing, check it out, watch it sink. Whatcha? Sinking so good. Alright. So that's positive. I don't have a slingshot, so I'm just going to do my best to throw it, you know, kind of past that cross stream there. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it that far. I might just fish in this little area before the current, if that's the case. But I'm going to try that. And I'll show you on the action camera what I'm mixing together for this carp bait, see if it works. Yep, that ain't going anywhere. Alright, so I'll grab a scoop. And I'm gonna whip it real good. Hook it out there. And it went nowhere. So that's not good. So I do already have a carp rig set up. Just put a little more stank on it. Right there will be fine. Now we gotta set our drag. It's on a heavy drag, so we're just gonna switch that up. Perfect. Guys, YOLO. Let's go this way. There. Should be hunky dory. I would be tying a new rig up, but it turns out that I did not bring any line. Unless I threw it in my backpack. I'll have a look around, but I'm just kind of enjoying the nature right now. Hoping that this thing gets set off. I got my YOLO bite alarms on it. They're very simple. They got an on and off switch. You run the line through these things. You click when a fish pulls, they yell at you. Should have called it yellow. Anyway, I'm just gonna wait and see if this thing takes off. If it doesn't, then I'll have to figure out tying a new rig and flipping it out deeper into the water. I'm thinking the water temperatures are still a little cold for carp fishing, but they should bite all year as long as you tempt them with something tasty. And this stuff, oh my god. Atlas Mike's Lunker Gel Scent Garlic. Super sticky stuff. I mean, I don't know how they get it so garlicky. It is like impressively garlicky. Must be like espresso ground garlic burned or something. So hopefully that works. I'm gonna hang out before I tie a new rig. And this thing is recording. Okay. So, more stuff from that Carp and Cats dude's YouTube channel. Apparently, fishes like chicken feed, cream corn, and Jello. I got strawberry banana for the hell of it. So I figure I'll throw in the strawberry banana first, get some flavor in. But maybe they like strawberry banana. Who knows? Throw my garbage in my little cart. Yeah, so then I'll just mix that up. There might be too much in there for the creamed corn yet. I don't know. I can always add water. I believe. You know, the can opener, I think I learned from his channel as well, wasn't invented until almost 100 years after the can. That seems a little odd. So I guess the safest way to do this is just keep stabbing it around as if it were a can opener. There we are. Of course I didn't bring a towel or any sort of way of cleaning my hands up after dealing with this stuff. So, we know how bright I am now. Let me just pour that all in there. Nice and freaking nasty. Turn her into a nasty smelling dough. Yep, there's definitely too much in there. So I'll need to add a little water. So this is what you would call a pack bait. I believe you could also turn this into boilies. The only problem I have with this kind of a bait, I mean, that chicken feed is a 25-pound bag. It could probably just stay in my truck as long as I keep it dry, and it'll last forever, so it's super cheap. It's just like keeping it from going bad seems to be like it might be a problem. I think I need more water. Just gotta bring this whole thing. I'm starting to think that shallower and less current might be better. I mean, that seems pretty obvious, but there's this spot over here where it's a little deeper below me and out to that little rock there. I know they can kind of hang out in this area. Water's still really swirly and whatever, and if it's cold they might not want to be here, but the most shallow, most stagnant water that I can think of is near that rock. So now that my bait, my chum, is really doughy, I should easily be able to chum that area, throw some snacks for them over there, hopefully attract them out, and then throw my third cast in that direction. And hopefully that works. So this dried out on the top a little bit and did become nice and doughy. It does break up quite a bit, but it holds its shape enough to cast out into the water or to throw. That looks like a feeding fish. I gotta get over there and check that. I don't see anything now. Could have sworn I saw something. Well, anyway, I'll throw that little dough ball in there. We'll chum that area. Sploosh. That might be enough. Well, I think I have to call that another bust. I mean, I got to test some stuff out, which was cool. It's hard to consider it a full test when I didn't catch any fish, so I don't even know if the rod can catch fish yet. Oh look, fish just jumped. Well, anyway, the pack bait works well. These things work well, I like them. Unfortunately, there were no fish, except for the one the osprey caught, and the one that just jumped there, and then there was another one that jumped a little closer to me, which is why I changed my line over to here, and couldn't catch him either. 120, I think I got here around 9. It might just be a bad season for them. The water might be a little cold yet. That chicken, whatever, feed pack bait worked pretty well with creamed corn to moisturize it. I mean, as far as holding together on the lure so that you can cast it out. It didn't catch any fish, which, I mean, that would have been better. All there is to do now is to clean up all my garbage and go home and do some chores and maybe get a nap in. Because it's nice that it didn't rain. Yeah. Carp fishing bust number 3. One of these days I'll get them.
Well, the lavalier microphone is away, so this audio will sound like trash, but I don't care. I don't want any moldy pack bait in my apartment or in the back of my truck, so I'm just gonna feed the fishes. It's unfortunate there's a lot of it. I might want to reconsider. Put it in the freezer. There's room in the freezer. But then it'll be frozen. Probably thaw by the time I decide to fish with it. I just have to take it out in advance. Yeah. I'll hold on to it. I just gotta freeze it.